What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout.
Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
Hi there, welcome along to the Modus Super Series live on Pluto TV, where this week it is a very special international pairs week. We've had lots of fun, lots of drama, and it's so good we're going to do it for the second time today. Joining me to guide you through the Group B action, Laura Turner. Before we get into this group, let's just reflect on what happened this afternoon. And England, who didn't make it through Group A into this group, had a decent start to their Group C campaign.
Yeah, they really did, didn't they? Obviously coming away with 4 wins out of the 5. I think they'd be disappointed actually not to have gone through the card because it was the very last game that they lost to an inspired Belgium in the end. But yeah, very good position going into the next day. But I still think there's a bit of work for everyone to do because the table was quite close.
What did you make of the team dynamic between Mervyn King and Steve West? They've been friends for a long time, used to sit on the same table at Pro Tours, etc. Do you think that's helped them? Absolutely.
I think, especially in teams, you need to be able to get along with the person that you're playing with in order to get the best out. And if you know them as well, I think that's an extra advantage coming into this. I think they balanced each other out really well because there was moments where Steve was just that slightly more relaxed character. Merv was really focused throughout, especially in the last match. But yeah, I think they played really well together.
Yeah, they should be happy. They are top of the Group C table overnight, taking a 2-point lead from Northern Ireland, Gibraltar, France, Poland and Belgium, all on 4 points. It's anybody's in terms of qualifying from that group. But England in a strong position. Earlier this week, we saw one of the most dramatic finishes to any group ever when Scotland won Group A. Going into the final day, 100-1, you may remember. They pipped Netherlands on head-to-head record, and Wales, they kind of blew it to end up in Group B. Germany, Ireland and Kenya joining in this group. Are you looking forward to seeing how Wales respond to that, well, you have to say it, capitulation?
Yeah, I really am because obviously Wales going in at one point on that final day, they were 8 points clear. So I think everyone really did think that it was kind of theirs to lose. And unfortunately, that's what ended up happening. But the bonus is we get 2 extra days of seeing Wales because they have been quite fun and entertaining. But like you say, you need to draw a line under it now. It's Group B. It's you've got to have your head on because you want to be making it through to Saturday's finals.
Yeah, and Richard Bennett has been such a character this week, but he's going to be joined by some more big characters on that stage tonight. Let's start with one of them, Peter Wachiri of Kenya, who last time he was here, he really won the hearts of darts fans everywhere, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. I mean, it's not very often you come to the live lounge and there's vuvuzelas and, it was a complete party atmosphere and everyone kind of got within it. But what he also did was, we had the fun factor, but he really did back it up with some class playing as well. So I hope to see a bit more of that today.
Yeah, he's going to be partnered with Manpreet Kelsey. Ireland's team looks very strong, doesn't it? We've got a former world master, current world champion in Shane McGurk. He's joined by John O'Shea. That looks strong to me. Yeah,
really, really does. I think when you showed the lineup to me, they're one of the teams that really did stand out. You've got a lot of strong pairings, but again, the two from Ireland with the accolades that they've got and the experience that they've got, yeah, I think they're going to be ones to watch tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The Irish are certainly amongst the front runners in this group, and we can bring you the betting for Group B. The favourites to win the group are the Netherlands, after narrowly missing out, we said. Then Wales, Ireland, Germany and Kenya are 14-1 outsiders. I'm interested in that sort of big gap between Germany and Kenya there, because we saw Peter Wachiri make that final. Germany's team does look rather inexperienced with David Schlichting and Marcel Althaus.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I think there is obviously the unknown quantity, at this kind of level as well with Kelsey, who's pairing up with Peter Wachiri. So, yeah, I can understand there's maybe, I think the market's just not quite sure as to how things pan out. But pairs is really quite different to, the singles and the individual tournaments. There is a different dynamic. You don't throw as much. You don't kind of have your rhythm as much. So if you are one of those more methodical players, sometimes that can actually be quite conducive to get getting the best out of yourself.
Certainly can. And if you are going to have a bet, please gamble responsibly. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Right, the opening match features Wales. They're going to take on Germany, and I think we are going to have some fun tonight. In fact, we've had a lot of fun already at this International Pairs Week, and Wales have been at the heart of much of it.
Quickly because Van Schier's found a man to lead. Bullseye for Parry. Bullseye found perfectly right in the middle of the bed.
He hits it.
Shot on the third leg.
Delightful.
But it's Richie Burnett that's going to have the last laugh.
Here we go then. Thursday night of the Super Series Group B getting underway. It has been bizarre and brilliant when it's come to watching the Welsh this week. Brilliant for most of the week, and then that real capitulation, as we mentioned, when they lost their final 4 games and got usurped by both the Netherlands, who finished second, and Scotland, who won the group as big outsiders. They are taking on Team Germany, making their debut as a pair this week, their first throw on the stage, and one familiar name and one person who's been a character at the Super Series. But Wales is Kurt Parry, 4 times a weekly finalist, never crossed the line, and his partner, the inimitable Richie Burnett, 58 years of old now, was runner-up in a previous week, looking to help Wales recover and take glory. David Schlichting has been here before. The boy from Berlin, 22 years of age, made the finals night as well. And his partner, Marcel Althaus, 31, also from Berlin. They do play pairs together quite a lot, so watch out for that dynamic. He's really starting to carve out a career in darts after spending the last few years as a bit of a social media personality. Right, that's all of the introductions done. Jack Garwood, the referee, I won't miss him out either, but Laura Turner will be with me to guide you through all the action. I think this is going to be a game that we can't take our eyes off, Laura.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it.
It's Germany to throw first.
As Jack does the introductions, and it's Germany with the darts. And as you mentioned, Schlichting, when he's been here before, he's been provided a bit of entertainment, been a bit of a personality himself. And Richie Burnett never does fail to put a smile on our face when he's up there on the oche. But I think the Welsh pair, they'll be disappointed that they didn't make it straight through to Saturday. As you say, it was a massive lead. They squandered at 1 point, 8 points clear of the rest of the field, and just allowed everyone to claw themselves back into it. Tonight, perhaps it's a case of a bit of revenge on the rest of the field. Yeah,
we've spoken about that 100-1 for Scotland,
50,
but
sir.
Wales were priced at 1-33 at the start of Wednesday. They were certainties. Just a reminder that in sport, anything is possible.
140.
Burnett with a decent opening start. Kurt Parry's been the king of the big scores for the Welsh team this week. Really good power scoring from him. And that was an interesting decision, Laura. Richie said himself that he's a more experienced player, as Parry rather proves that point.
140.
But he said to Kurt, look, you're going first. You do the scoring. I'll mop up, to use Richie's own words.
Yeah, I did see the interview. It's another rather amusing one. Kurt, I think, sometimes just doesn't quite know where to look when it comes to Richie. But yeah, it was working. It was a plan that was working for the first couple of days and just fell apart on day 3. Yeah, Burnett just checking what's been scored.
87. Wales, you require 90.
Well, 90. This was the shot that Parry missed to go level with Scotland in that decisive match.
71.
He's missed it again.
Germany require
The
128.
first check out in his next match. Can you believe that irony?
A chance here. Treble 20 leaves the ball.
84. Wales, you require
Was a chance there for
19.
Germany. But now it's for Burnett to try and tidy up, and I can tell you that was for a 3, but double 1 is now the target,
It's on
and
the
no
first
problem there
leg,
for
Team
Richie
Wales.
Burnett.
Yeah. Incredible how many times we've seen stuff like that from Richie Burnett this
Second
week
leg,
as well.
It's Wales to throw first. Game on.
Somehow manages to get the wrong question, but still get the answer right. And now he's having a little chat with Schlichting in the background, who's enjoying his front row seat to the wonder of the one-man show that is Richie Burnett.
140.
Yeah, it's interesting. Both the
25.
pair from Germany, relatively new when it comes to their darting careers. Still see them floating around development tour, just in pursuit of those darting ambitions.
121.
Do you agree with the bookmakers that there are 3 sort of clear favourites to go through in Ireland, Wales and Netherlands?
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the rest of the field, because as we say, anything can happen in darts. But yeah, if you just look at the accolades and the experience,
84.
and that's all we can kind of go from, then yes, I would agree.
Germany will have their work cut out, particularly in this group as well. You can quickly run out of matches.
60.
Kenya, the other team, and the
Germany
third game today, the
require
first for Kenya, is
156.
between Kenya and Germany. That could be a really important match for both those teams.
$85. Wales, you require 141.
And a long range chance here, and it's not going to go for Kurt Parry.
109. Germany, you require 71.
71 then for Schlichting. 18 leaves tops.
Game shot on the second leg. Team Germany.
Turtle power.
Third leg, it's Germany to throw first. Game on.
And importantly for Germany, that was a break straight back, because Wales took the opener.
93.
In terms of what we've seen from the pair as well in individual performances, we know that they have had averages in and around the high 90s, but
140.
as an average, you're kind of talking around 80 to mid 80 levels. So they are playing way above their standard, especially when you bring into the fact that it is a pairs event.
121.
Yeah, Wales will be hoping to have sort of shaken off that feeling of we shouldn't be here. Only had to win one more match. Potentially only had to win a couple more legs. It was a 4-0 defeat to the Netherlands that put them in a position against Scotland where it was just a straight shootout. Had they got a leg or two, they would just needed a number of legs in the last game.
It was a really standout match, though. The Netherlands registered that 105 average, highest average we've seen from a pair this week.
Yeah, as we saw in that opening montage, they've had their trials and tribulations and their ups and downs, if I can put it that way.
121.
As well, they'll be in action next against Ireland. This is decent, this from Germany. They're taking the game to Wales. Wales had left themselves 1-2-1 after 9 and
57.
may not get a dart double.
Germany require 47. Game shot on the third leg.
Another
Team
really
Germany.
well, cleanly taken finish there by Schlichting.
Fourth leg, it's Wales to throw first. Game on.
And what I will say, you do sometimes find that there are players that actually prefer the pairs format. If it's something you're used to
135.
doing, sometimes you can get the best out of yourself because your partner's relying on you.
I would prefer it. I can tell you that much. Somebody else throwing the darts other than me.
45.
Yes, please.
Well, it can act as a bit of a leveller, can't it? I think. And we've seen that on occasion throughout the week as well.
81.
Yeah, you're not going to see many matches that sort of are rhythmic, that you're going to see all players throw at the same pace. Different challenges to navigate.
135.
And sometimes you have to navigate those different paces within the same match because obviously the order does change as to who you're throwing after every so often as well. So you might prefer standing behind the player that's got the
85.
faster pace if that's the way you're inclined to throw. It's yeah, it definitely gives you lots to think about.
100.
Well, we built it up as this battle of characters. They've hardly cracked a smile between them so far. Well, Burnett's still seething at the turnaround
81.
yesterday. Looks like a man on a mission, doesn't he?
You look at the length of
57.
Richie Burnett's career and he
Wales
still
require
demands perfection from
119.
himself. He still has those high expectations, as do the rest of us, because the quality that we see from him.
Double 13.
93.
Well, there is a chance here for
Germany
Germany.
require
It's an outside
164.
chance, but it would be for a break and a 3-1 advantage.
$46. Wales, you require 26.
This 4-2 apiece.
Well, he's
No score.
bust it there.
Germany, you require 118.
Left Kurt Parry on that awkward double, which he will come back for.
42.
There's often a saying when you play
Wales,
pairs,
you
you left
require
it, you get it, and it was
26.
Kurt Parry that left it, and I know Richie Burnett will be hoping he gets it.
No score.
Wow, wow,
Germany, you
wow.
require 76.
Well, is this losing streak going to continue? Double eights.
Game shot on the
3-1
fourth
Germany, who
flag.
have the
Team
throw
Germany.
here. Now, may we just remind you, let's forget
Fifth flag. It's
exactly
Germany
what
to throw
happened in
first.
Group A, but if you just
Game
put
on.
the whole week together, Wales only lost one of their first 11
61.
matches. They're now on course to lose a fifth on the spin since then. That is remarkable.
Yeah, quite often
59.
we see games of two halves, but this so far feels like it's been a bit of a tournament of two halves. This back end has been a bit of a disaster for Wales.
They were looking like champions elect. This is relegation
60.
form. And we don't have such a elimination in terms of the groups at the Super Series, but of course only half of them are left
95.
standing on Saturday. And if Wales can't put it together, is it possible? Well, anything's possible, we know that, but are we going to start
42.
considering that Saturday night might not feature Burnett and Parry? And what price would you have got on that on Wednesday morning?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wales's next game, they'll
100.
be facing one of the other hot favourites in McGurk and O'Shea for Ireland.
I know Germany is an enormous
100.
darting nation, and I'm sure a few will be tuning in live on Pluto TV to watch their team this evening. And right now, they'll be dancing in the
76.
streets of Berlin.
$60.
Yeah, so far been a really measured performance from the German pair, but the finishing has been exceptional. 3 from 5, 60%, but they've all been those pop finishes, 71, 76, 47.
Oh, Kurt Parry was so free-flowing, so fluent all week, and he stopped start today so far.
97. $81. Wales, you require 74.
Burnett may have to take this. That leaves 41.
$34. Germany require 97.
Couldn't take it, and this is an opportunity for Germany to inflict another defeat on Wales, and he's going to get 2 darts here, Schlichting, at tops. Oh, wow.
And the match.
What a start,
Germany.
what a surprise, what a shock, as Germany not only beat Wales, but they've beaten them 4-1. And this Welsh nightmare is continuing at the Super Series. Yeah, he's very happy about it. They've enjoyed their debut at this International Pairs Week. Team Germany defeating Wales 4-1. And it was the finishing that won it. 4 out of 7 compared to just 1 out of 7 from the Welsh pair, who have now lost 5 games in a row. Unbelievable. Next, Ireland take on the Netherlands.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yeah. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So we seal the trophy. £25,000.
The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where the Wales fails continue. Burnett and Parry, who looked certs to win Group A, couldn't make it and ended up losing their opening match in Group B, 4-1 to a German pairing of Marcel Althaus and David Schlichting. Now, attention turns to the team that actually finished above Wales in that Group A campaign. The Netherlands, who are taking on Ireland here with Shane McGurk, reigning WDF champion of the world, and his partner, a former world master in John O'Shea of Cork. Jimmy Van Schie, the Dutchman, runner-up of Series 8 here, second in Group A with Danny Van Tripe, and they only missed out, of course, by virtue of their head-to-head record against Scotland earlier this week.
First leg, it's Ireland to throw first.
Well, we saw a shock scoreline in the previous match, Laura, but I suppose no result will be a shock in this one.
No, absolutely not. I'm interested to see how the Irish duo get on. First time we're seeing them this week.
108!
Well, I guess I don't have to wonder for too long, because that's the perfect start by Shane McGurk.
57.
But I think that was a poor start from Shane, because what he's done now is put all the pressure on his teammate, hasn't he?
Yeah, or just alleviated quite a little, to be fair.
91. $59.
Well, the Netherlands continued
21.
playing darts last night. They went to a local tournament, and Jimmy Van Schie actually won it against a lot of great local players, which there are plenty of in the Portsmouth and Hampshire area, as you well know,
96.
Laura.
Yeah, absolutely. We often say, you know, what do the players kind of do when they've got that spare time, that downtime? But most of them
41.
seem to just keep on playing.
Not quite Leonard Gates levels. Do you remember when he
41.
played in the Champion of Champions for the World Seniors last year? Or was it the year before? And he qualified for a golden ticket qualifier where only one player qualified. Loads entered,
136.
played all day Friday to qualify. He then played his quarter-final match on the Saturday, and there were World Seniors Tour events on the Saturday evening, and he played in them.
134.
And then he played the Champion of Champions semis and
Ireland
final on the
require
Sunday and won that
32.
tournament as well. Just love playing darts.
24. Netherlands, you require 140.
John O'Shea not loving it right now. Will Danny Van Tripe beat after this? Double top.
94.
Not this time.
Ireland, you require 8.
You feel that should be a good guide, and it
It's on
is.
the
And it
first
is
leg.
1-0
Team
to the
Ireland.
Irish duo.
Second leg, it's the Netherlands to throw first. Game on. $60.
Yeah, shake of the head there from Jimmy Van Schie. Not happy with the way that those darts lay.
44.
But Shane McGurk, they're not able to make the most of it. Capitalise on the early mistake. And now Danny Van Tripe just trying to put a bit of
100.
distance between the pair.
$60. $60.
I mean, he's thrown 6 darts really well all round, threatening the treble 20, but just not able to find the target.
96. $125.
Well, I've just got a text from Henry Deacon, Laura, and it says, fun facts about Ireland.
82. The
Apparently,
Netherlands require
Ireland
156.
has no snakes. Yeah, Henry, next time I'll text you, mate. Don't text me.
100. $134. Netherlands require 56.
Yeah, great switch there, but could all be academic. Tops required for Van Tripe.
On the second leg, the Netherlands.
Nice pop finish.
Third leg, it's Ireland to throw first.
Yeah, all
Game
square. 2 holes to throw. And McGurk back in business with his opener here.
140.
Did Henry provide some fun facts this afternoon, Laura?
I did hear a few fun facts.
100.
Yes.
Did you fact check him on any of those facts?
No, I didn't. I'll be honest.
Henry will be back with his
100.
file of facts tomorrow.
$60. $55. $59.
Just pulling a little bit low for Van Skeet.
Yeah, there have been a few moments this week where, and I actually mean this
58.
seriously, where it's looked like the Dutch team haven't seen eye to eye. That's not a height joke. Jimmy Van Skeen miscounted
6.
earlier in the week, and Danny Van
Ireland
Tripe
to
wasn't
require
impressed about it. And then
148.
Danny himself, we all know he fell off the stage. And Jimmy was laughing as much as everybody else, and I don't think Danny was too enamoured with that either.
140.
No, and I guess it comes down to that kind of partnership and knowing what, about your partner as well.
140. Ireland, you require 8.
Double 4 then for Ireland.
Game shot on the third leg, Team Ireland.
No issues there for John O'Shea on the double. 2-1 they lead.
Fourth leg, it's the Netherlands to
Yeah,
throw
the green
first.
doubles just seem to make sense,
Game on.
don't they, for the guys from the Emerald Isle?
Yeah, and you look at the CVs of the pair of them. Obviously, John O'Shea, that 2019 World Masters. Obviously, picked up his tour card in 22. Came off the tour after a couple of years, and Shane McGurk probably broke the hearts of a lot of the romantic
93.
dart fans when he picked up the 2024 WDF World title, beating Paul Lim, who just had that dream run.
60.
Yeah, that was remarkable. Still trying to find a space for Paul Lim at the Super Series. Come on, Paul. You know it makes sense.
100.
He's played for about 6 different nations, hasn't he? In
I think it's 5.
international darts, 5, is it?
I think it is.
100.
Now trying to remember what they are.
Definitely Singapore.
Yes. USA.
Yeah. And that's where it ends.
124.
I know many of you are shouting at your screens right now.
One of them is something like Samoa, because when he
135.
very first started playing, he didn't have a WDF affiliated country. And the other one's probably Hong Kong, maybe?
100. Netherlands, you require 106.
But yeah, definitely been a few.
Yeah, I'm trying to research on the fly here. Papua New Guinea is.
That's Papua
Yeah.
New Guinea, that's it. I knew it was a bit of an
Game shot on the
outlier.
fourth leg,
And that was
the
a bit of an out
Netherlands.
from Jimmy Van Skeet. The 106 to tie this up at 2-2. Dutch reach deadlock.
Fifth leg, it's Ireland to throw first.
Yeah,
Game
you were
on.
right with Hong Kong.
$100.
Well, all things level in the match, and there really isn't much in terms of the stats to split the pair.
100.
Just some slightly more clinical finishing from the Dutch duo.
$57.
This is nice.
140.
From DVT.
$121. $41.
You do see that from Jimmy. I know he can get them through, but there wasn't a lot of room and tends not to look around the board as much as he possibly should. And perhaps that's one of the frustrations you were mentioning that
91.
Van Tripe sometimes has.
Can he pile pressure on here?
140. Ireland
think that
require
does that.
132.
So bullseye for starters. Still on treble 19. And now the button.
90.
Cannot push the button.
Netherlands, you require 80.
This here would be for the break. Has to move across because of the way his darts land. May have to move again because it's getting a bit awkward trying to find a route through to tops for 3-2.
40. Ireland, you require 42. Game shot on the
Big
fifth
dart.
leg. Team Ireland.
Big reaction from John O'Shea.
Sixth leg. It's the Netherlands to throw first. Game on. $100.
Be a great start for Ireland if they were to get off to a winning start here because they play Netherlands and Wales in the first two matches.
140.
Yeah, it could be
140.
teams coming in. Yeah, the pressure of the pairs and just taking advantage early doors because we saw Germany
91.
run out as 4-1 winners over the Welsh pair.
And it's going to be Kenya coming in next, taking on Germany. As
108.
Van Ski fills it up, this one looks like it's going to be going the distance.
$45. Netherlands, you require 81. $41.
Yeah, Van Tripe just tidying it up nicely for when Jimmy Van Schie returns to the hockey.
43. Netherlands, you require 40.
Double 10. He does seem to like this target, and he
It's on
rather
the
likes
sixth
it there.
leg, the Netherlands.
3-3. We go all the way. All holds a throw in this contest.
Seven
An
for the
overhead
final
fist
leg.
bump
It's
from
Ireland
the
to
Dutch
throw
duo
first.
there,
Game on.
making use of the height advantage.
$100. $100.
I said before there wasn't much to split them, and there really isn't here as well. It's
60.
It just feels like a case of, you want to get into that thing, 1-2 treble visits, that if one big score could really separate one team from the other.
60.
The reactions there, nothing between them at all. 3 legs apiece. 3-4-1 on the scoreboard. Who can hit big? Who can make their move in this deciding leg?
59.
3 visits in a row where players have come up dry in terms of hitting trebles.
$59.
They really are going score for score.
Yeah, that's all 4 players. Now O'Shea pictures the perfect dart, but he fails to follow it.
125.
Maybe a little bit of a rush of blood, but he rescues the situation with the last one.
Yeah, and by that also manages to leave them on a finish.
140. Ireland
there's
require
nothing in it.
157.
McGurk has the first poke. Treble 19. That ain't going. So Van Schie will take a look at 142.
McGurk there just checking what he had left. 78.
97.
So
Netherlands
Shea's on
require
60 if he gets the
142.
opportunity to come back. Yeah, he will be coming back. Disappointment there for Van Schie.
64. Ireland requires 60.
Still not the easiest finish, 60 of all the two darters. You can block tops. He now gets a clear look at tens,
50.
and he can't find that either. And he
Netherlands
punches the air in
requires 78.
frustration as Danny Van Tripe looks to nick it for Netherlands.
Tops as a target here for Van Tripe.
38.
Just goes high.
Ireland require
More chances for Ireland and Shane McGurk.
A pair of fives.
Shaw and the match.
And that is
Team
enough to take the pot and take the points. A 4-3 win for Ireland on their maiden outing at this Modus Super Series International Pairs Week. The Dutch, having been denied the chance to win Group A, have lost their opening fixture in Group B. A 4-3 win, a very watchable game. They went blow for blow throughout it, but in the end it was Shane McGurk and John O'Shea who got the better of the Dutch pairing of Van Schie and Van Tripe. Coming next, we're going to see Kenya for the first time. That means the return of Peter Wachuri.
Charlie require 164. 44. 32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least two handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last two darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
require
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there,
require
George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
Gets it.
done.
Got in the match, and the red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, brought to you from the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, UK, where all the flags are out this week because it's an international pairs spectacular, and we've got African representation here and royalty by the looks of it. The Prince and the King on the stage. No, not Mervyn King. That was this afternoon. Peter Wachuri, who was runner-up in week 6 of the previous series and took the darts world by storm. Marcel Althaus, well, him and David Schlichting took the opening match by storm, beating Wales 4-1. The partner for Peter Wachuri for Team Kenya is Manpreet Khalsi, 41 years of age from Nairobi, making his debut here. And I've got it on good authority that if you think Peter Wachuri was decent, Khalsi could be even better. David Schlichting of Germany completes the group of players on stage for this one. They've already got a win to their name, Laura. If they get another one here, they're in a very good position to qualify.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, unlike Group C that we saw this afternoon, in Group B, less teams and more opportunity to progress as well. It's the top 3 of 5 that go through.
First leg, it's Kenya.
There have
to
been
throw
players that have
first.
gone through on 4 points. That was enough for Rob Collins, wasn't it, a couple of weeks ago?
Game on.
Yeah, if you can get yourself a couple of wins on opening day in Group B, it just stands you in such good stead going in
100.
to day number 2.
A good start for Wachuri.
100.
The scenes when he went back to Kenya were remarkable. Met at the airport by
30.
loads of fans cheering him on for what he achieved here. Didn't even win it. He was runner-up.
He's proven to be really early on, isn't he, Peter Wachuri? A real fan favourite, a
81.
trailblazer. He was unlucky actually not to make it through to the Ali Pali. Lost out in the final to Cameron Carolison. Cameron Carolison actually put paid to the hopes of Khalsi as well in the same tournament in the last 16.
Yeah, it's until recently
83.
we've linked up actually with the African Darts group and are giving them 2 spaces in every series. Great to have a team representing that continent in the international pairs as well. But until recently, it was kind of not really thought about as a dart playing continent, was it? Devon Peterson, of course, from South Africa being the real trailblazer for that. But there's a real emergence. We've seen some really good players. Simon Adams here at the Super Series as well.
But what's interesting is it's always kind of felt like it's been concentrated around South Africa, but now you're seeing it pop up. You're seeing players from Kenya, from Uganda.
58.
There's tournaments happening in Egypt as well. So it is very much a nation where there could be a lot of growth for the sport.
$24. $44.
I haven't really seen Khalsi quite settle yet. I'm sure that will come.
100.
There we go.
Germany require 158.
Yeah, much more assured throw there from Khalsi. But it's the German pair with the first opportunity for a finish. Not going to go, but going to leave something quite handy.
96. Kenya, you require 104.
Of course, when they play Wales, there'll be 2 princes on the stage, won't there? And if they play England on
25.
finals night, there'll be 2 kings.
Germany requires 62.
Yeah, rather royal affair here at the Live Lounge tonight in Portsmouth.
Yeah, we just need the Queen of the
38.
Palace and the Court Jester, and we've got a
Kenya
full house.
requires
A joker.
79.
Henry Dickens back tomorrow. Bullseye required here.
32. Germany require 24.
Double 12 for Deutschland. Double 6.
18. Kenya, you require 47.
Massive opportunity come and gone there for Germany. It's double 14 here for Peter Wachuri.
And on the first leg.
That was
Team
one element
Kenya.
of Peter Wachuri's game when he was here last time. He was very accurate when it came to the outer ring. Quite liked a big finish,
Second
especially
leg.
if it ended
Germany
on top.
to throw first.
We like some unorthodox. It's easy for me to say that, isn't it? Unorthodox finishers.
We have been here all day.
Yeah, well, I haven't. Well, I have, but just not
75.
speaking.
100.
Hit a 180 against Phil Taylor. Did Marcel.
81.
Must be some feeling to do that against the greatest player of all time.
Oh, Peter Wachuri here looking for a 180 of his own. 2 in.
140.
Couldn't quite find the third. Puts him again in quite a strong position here.
108.
But that puts Germany in a very strong position. The maximum's not enough to leave a check out, though, so if Kelsey can find a ton, Kenya will be on a finish first.
60.
Couldn't quite do it.
$83.
I've seen that a few times with Outhouse. First 2 darts, they're normally quite straight near the target. Last one just goes a bit awry.
100.
Nice
Germany
darts from
require
Wachuri.
82.
This man had a 180 last visit. It is a 25, so 17 and tops. Oh dear, he's overdone it. And that allows an opportunity for Kenya to
66.
double their advantage.
Kenya, you require 101.
And this really would be a settler for Manpreet Kelsey.
$85.
Well, the last dart just puts
Germany
pressure on
requires
Outhouse here.
16.
Double 8 the target. But he
It's on
finds
the
it.
second
Pressure,
leg.
what pressure?
Team Germany.
All square.
Yeah, as they say, pressures for tyres.
Third leg. It's Kenya to throw first. Game on.
And you just get the feeling this
108.
Kenyan duo are warming up to the task as their first max is found.
He's dropped his flight here. David Schlichting gives it him back. He was really the first player, you know, at the Super Series to start to give looks into cameras and things like that, Schlichting.
54.
Many have done it since. We had a full Super Series stare-off, didn't we, in the last series?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do remember. I did work the week when he was here last, and he knew exactly where those cameras were.
59.
Often saw quite a nice celebration at the end of matches.
$60.
Well, following this, we're going to see Wales again. Remember, on the back of a 5-match losing streak. Taking on
26.
Ireland, that's not going to be an easy tie.
No, absolutely not, especially after their Ireland's opening 4-3 victory over the Netherlands.
38. $140.
Yeah, first 2 treble visit for Kelsey, and has left Peter Veturi in a really good position here. 96 required to
Kenya, you require
lead
96.
2 legs to 1.
Well, that becomes 95. He has gone the treble 19 route, but Germany are so far back. He'll be happier just to tidy this up, I think.
40. $100. Kenya, you require 56.
And Preet Kelsey then looking to finish off this leg for Kenya. Big deep breath. And he delivers a double
Team Kenya
to give Kenya the lead at 2-1.
Yeah, and a real reaction there from Kelsey.
Full flag. It's Germany to throw first. Game on.
What do you prefer playing, Laura, pairs or singles? Do you have a preference?
46.
Traditionally, I mean, I probably had more success, especially when I started off in pairs. That might be a test to the fact that I got lucky and got good partners. But actually, I just felt you kind of feel quite comfortable,
60.
especially if you get a partner that you play with on a regular basis. So I think I kind of enjoy the camaraderie and that kind of team element, but it's also the worst feeling when you're the one that kind of lets the side
85.
down as well. So yeah, it's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, there's been some great pairs partnerships over the years, hasn't there? The one that springs to mind in PDC darts was that pairing of Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis. And I think that
85.
obviously the quality and the standard and talent that they had, but the camaraderie that they had as well made a huge difference to their success.
60.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've seen it with other teams. Look at Team Netherlands. Michael van Gerwen's kind of struggled with many of his partners.
27.
I think they've only ever won it with Raymond van Barneveld in the team.
Yeah, whereas you can look at a partnership like maybe Gerwin Price and Johnny Clayton, and I think all eyes obviously going into this year will be on the 2 Lukes, Luke Littler, Luke Humphreys. I mean, but it depends how you get on playing together as a pair.
Yeah, that would be an interesting dynamic, won't it? Because they're the top 2 in the game, big rivals, and then they've got to come together to represent
43.
their country. I suppose it's only the same as, say, international football, isn't it?
Yeah, but also you're kind of not used to it quite as much in the darting world.
140.
Yeah, the 2 Lukes met in the final of the Premier League tonight
100.
in Leeds.
Germany requires 70. Game shot
That's
on the
nice.
full flag. Team Germany.
70 out for Germany, all square, cleaned up by Althaus.
5th flag. It's Kenya to throw first. Game on. $95.
Yeah, good homecoming. I believe that's still going on, actually, but good homecoming for Luke Humphreys,
58.
whose father named him after Leeds United, didn't he?
Yeah, I told my kids that the other day. They didn't believe me until I went Leeds United, Kings of Europe.
I mean, it was bold. Imagine if he turned around one day and said he was a Man United fan.
Well, yeah, it's always a risk, isn't it?
$57.
Yeah, this feels like a match very much which is going that ebb and flow. Whoever's got
43.
the advantage of throwing first just seems to be making just about enough of it.
$58. $127.
seem to be quite dominant holds of throw at the moment, not putting enough pressure on against the darts, either team.
128. Kenya require 96.
No, and if that is something that continues, it will be the Kenyans that emerge victorious because the Germans will need a break of throw.
$56.
There's a little change of mind there, and I wonder if he had the double in mind for his teammate. Again, something that becomes a thought that is never really a thought in individual darts.
40.
Just do what you want to do. But it's tops for Kelsey. Too high. Edging closer.
20.
And then he over adjusts.
Germany
and it's a
require
chance for Germany here to
114.
steal a break.
Treble 18 was the intended target, so Peter Venturi returning back for double 10.
58.
Once
Kenya
again to try
require
and hold
20.
the throw. Now, is that a good guide? There's sometimes an argument for a dart just being that bit too close makes it awkward.
No score.
Yeah, and just clatters into
Germany
the dart that was
require
on the
56.
outer ring.
Bit of a gift, this frustration there from Wachuri as Schlichting looks to take out tops.